So I made it back from Bunnings, which is good. Used my roof rack for the first time, which is pretty handy. I put up the Rhino flat bar on the top. There's a video of that somewhere else if you have a look on YouTube on how to do it. But that worked really well. Normally I have to ask a mate with a ute, but this time, happy days. Okay, so I ended up not buying 10mm. The ply on 10mm is way too wavy, and it's flexy. I don't think it'll have any strength to it. So I went for I think it was a 15mm sheet of ply here. 15mm is much more rigid. That'll hold on pretty good, I think. And that'll work pretty well for the back of the car. So my next phase is to tidy this up a bit, make sure the edges are perfect, everything's sort of right. That sort of moved around, make sure everything's right. And then pretty much I'm going to cut out my template and work it out. So I'm going to lie it down on a bit of ply, get that sorted out. I might have another coffee, and I'll come right back to you. Alright, as I said, I'm going to take the 10mm off this side here, all the way down to this point. Then I'm going to take a 10mm off this, off the extension that's hung out. So I'm going to use the same sort of line and just go, just a bit of a guess more than anything. I'm sure if you had a Stanley knife it would be much, much easier, but I don't. Not one with a blade anyway. I've got a Stanley blade, I must try that one. Right, it goes all the way down there. Then this piece just here, I'll do the same thing. Actually, I might not need to there. Let's do a bit of a fit check. Oh, groin. Oh, didn't need that. Oh, that smarted right in the groin. Right, let's have a go again. Alright, that fits really well. That fits really well, so for me now, I have to go through and cut this out. Excuse me, I got nailed. I have to go and cut this out, mark it, get my positioning right. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get it all prepared, and I shall come back to you once I've got this all marked out on the table, because it's not really very exciting to watch me mark things out on a table. So I'll come back to you. Cool as, mate, let's roll. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this TV down because we don't need that on. Okay, basically I've traced this all out now. We have a fully traced out system just here. Again, it's a bit rough, I get it, but that's going to be okay because I'm going to work with my jigsaw and just going to take my time and shape it as I go, because the cardboard shape was, you saw me cut it, it's not brilliant, it's not bad. So I'm going to cut this out as I need to with the straight lines and angle it out the best I can, but I can always modify. I can always trim, modify, and if I make an error, it's not a big deal because it's only a base plate and the carpet's going over it anyway. So I'm going to cut this out now and yeah, have a bit of a go. So let's see if we can get this going without breaking the camera. Blow this popsicle stand, eh? getting there. I'm pretty sure that should be straight, not all screwed like that. So, oh, now this is where I'm going to go. But no, I'm going to follow my lines. I can always recut it. Boom. Like a boss. Again, it's not going to be perfect. We're just going to work our way around it until we get it right. I'm going to cut my table. No, should be fine. Boom. Alright, let's just cut this piece off so it's not interfering in anything. So we're going our way through it now. As you can see, we're cutting through. I'm going to cut this piece off. I'm just going to go and replace my blade. My blade's a bit old, so I'm going to replace that and then I'll come back. Alright, so I've replaced the blade. I don't have a new one, so I've got another old one, but it feels a bit better than the other. And we're going to go through the process of cutting this out. Hopefully oh no, it wasn't better. That's what happens when you push too hard on your blades. So, lost it. Bugger. Alright, let's find another one. Well, that's a bit frustrating. I've only got an old, rather large blade, so I'm going to give it a go. See if it's going to work for me. Can't guarantee it, but if it doesn't, back to Bunnings. Which is always frustrating when you've just been somewhere and you forgot you're going to get something. So, alright, let's give this a go. Snap this. Let's get rid of that. And let's see if this is going to cut through again, huh? Nope, that's buggered. Alright, I'm going to Bunnings. I'll be back. Lesson number 57. Always have spare blades. Actually, I've got a better idea. Trusty skill saw. That'll get us through this. Happy days. Right, that's snapped there, which is fine. That's not ideal, by the way, and it wasn't supposed to happen like that, but I've got no other tools, so let's just work with it for the moment. Alright, so that's nice and straight anyway. That's perfect. I'll knock that out, give that a notch and give that a notch, and we shall be okay. Should try this tool again with a little cut. Clearly I'm not a cabinet maker, but it will work fine. It's a covered in carpet anyway. So that is pretty good right there. Happy days. I've got to cut around that other piece where the seatbelt leg connects in. I'm pretty sure I've got to cut that out. Well, let's check that against the let's check it against the actual part that I made. So there it is, yep, so that goes on there. It's pretty close to right, I think. That's pretty good. That's going to work. Just got to cut out that piece right there. So I'll cut that out with the skilly, with the not with the skilly, with the jigsaw. Now that should be able to get through there, and then we can test it in the car. That'd be sweet. As I said, use your safety gear. I know I'm not, I'm a dumbass, but use your safety gear, and yeah, be careful and take it slow. I don't generally, I just sort of go bullshit and bust, but I don't suggest doing that. Wow, that's really, really bad. Can we run this along here? Yeah, this is blunt as all hell. But I'll get through eventually. I don't fancy doing a drive to Bunnings just for one blade. Sure, if I just take it slow, I'll get through this. That is so blunt. Very, very blunt. Well, I don't know if that's going to be enough actually, but let's just give it a go. One way to find out. Let's test it in the car, see if it's going to work. Now it's a bit awkward with this because of the shape. I'm actually getting it in the car. I've had it last time. It's a bit of a nightmare. Alright, so other than the seatbelt part, which we already knew was going to be a problem, that's actually going to fit pretty good, as you can see. It's going to go in quite nicely. That there could probably be tidied up, which I'll do that with skills from, so we'll cut that straight. Thought that might have been the case. I'm going to tidy that up, and I'm just going to drop the skilly blade down through there and open that up, or do something with it. Then that should drop in pretty well, I think. I would imagine. That'll be pretty good. And then we'll have a base plate. I'm still going to use some of the other ply to run ribs down it to give me my height. So I'm going to use my little nail gun, put them in, and then going to go through there. So this is all going to be held down. We can have it nice and flat and flush with here, so the fridge can go on without being a problem. So we'll move on to the next part. Well, we have new blades. Thank Christ for neighbours, eh? My neighbour just turned up, and when I was doing that last bit of recording, he says, "Oh, I got some of those." I was like, yeah, hook me up. So he did. And that is good. Oh no, is it going to work though? Twisting the blade. There's something going on there. There's something trapped in there. Let's try a different variety. A few different ones here. Some blunt, some not so blunt. There we go, perfect. So we now have one that's fit, perfectly done. So let's go back to tidying some of the stuff up. Perfect. And over here we've got this other part we've got to do. Spin you this way a little bit, so you get a bit of a look. Might see the VMAX in the background. Go to VMAX. Beautiful. Alright, so we have that all cut out now, and I'm going to do another try in the back of the car to see how it fits, so you can be part of that. We'll have a bit of a, oh shit, sorry, we'll have a bit of a look at that and see how it works. It's just trial and error, trial and error, trial and error constantly. Let's have a go. It's all very awkward. Right, not big enough there still. Okay, I need to trim some more of that. Alright, so where that seatbelt comes in, I've got to take more of it off. Obviously the cardboard had a bit of flex in it, it's not giving me the total amount, so I'm going to widen it right up. And I'm going to open it right up this way as well. Boom. Like a boss. Much nicer, so nice and square as well, so that adds an element of happiness to it. Let's try one more time, give it another go. It's all very awkward, that's the hard part. That's actually not bad. I keep getting my pants caught. That's actually not bad. We have it in there. Now clearly it's not square, as you can see. There's flex. That's because the back of the area doesn't have any support. Hence why I'm going to put some some runners running underneath to bring it up a bit higher so we can match this height. So I'm going to do that 3 or 4 strips all the way down, nail gun them in, and at the very back I'll do some sort of support structure. So whether that be it's basically a couple of 2x4, just something to fill that void, so when it's bolted down it actually might be okay. Actually bolting it down is going to fix that. So I'm going to put the straps in, get the heights right, and bolt it down. I reckon that'll be sweet. Everything looks pretty good, I think. There's a little notch right there. I've got to trim that off, just there's a bit tight, so I'll mark that with a pencil. Other than that, I think we're actually spot on. I think we've actually got a pretty good looking thing. So I'm going to give that a trim now, and then I'm going to mark out some bolt holes and sort of get a rough guideline of the bolts. Then I'm going to paint it with some glue and roll some carpet over it and get it laid in the car. So let's continue.